Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Wednesday, March 6th, 2024. Here's what's happening today in America. All but one. Another moderate out. Dad on trial. And voter ID laws are racist, we're told. That's all coming up. Then Bill is going to be here with your message of the day. But first, Clean Sweep Tuesday. All but one. Trump swept all of the Super Tuesday states except for Vermont. Come on, Vermont. Shakes fist at you. But that was an open primary state, so anyone could vote in that primary. Nikki won 50-46. Trump won every single state. Wasn't even close in any state. Like Alabama was 83, Trump 13, Nikki Haley. Tennessee 77-20. Oklahoma 82-16. Some were kind of close. If you call Virginia 63-35 close, I guess. Then Trump now has 995 delegates. He needs 1,215 to win the nominations. But it's over. No one's ever swept the Republican primaries like this. In other election news, Senator Kristen Sinema from Arizona has announced she is retiring after just one term. She said, "Because I choose civility, understanding, listening, working together to get stuff done, I will leave the Senate at the end of this year." A little jab at the people who remain. She was elected in 2018 as a Democrat. In 2022, became an independent. So to win re-election in Arizona as an independent, she would have had to do a lot because the Democrats were running a Democrat. And of course, the Republicans were running a Republican. So she had to get 40,000 signatures by April, which was even hard to do. She stopped even fundraising. It was hard to raise money. So she's out. So the race in Arizona for the Senate is now between Democrat Ruben Gallego and Carrie Lake. This trend now continues. We talked a few weeks ago about the mother of Ethan Crumbley. Crumbley murdered 4 of his classmates in school. His mom was charged with involuntary manslaughter, found guilty because she should have known that her 15-year-old had mental health issues and access to guns. Her defense were the guns were under the control of her husband, James. So now the dad is on trial. The combination for the gun safe was the factory preset of 000. Merrick Garland was speaking at a black church in Selma, Alabama, said voter ID laws are discriminatory, burdensome, and unnecessary. He said the right to vote is under attack. Most recent polling on this says 75% of Americans support showing photo ID to vote, including 60% of Democrats. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. Bill O'Reilly has your message of the day. Next.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584, 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Wednesday, no joy in Mudville. The progressives have struck out again. The far-left attempt to strike Donald Trump's name from presidential ballots received a humiliating 9-0 rejection from the Supreme Court. This was an easy one. Individual states have absolutely no constitutional right to interfere in a national election. Never mind the loons in Colorado, Maine, and Illinois denied Mr. Trump due process in convicting him of insurrection. The court didn't even have to consider that. The state's ballot ban was all that was necessary for the Supremes to say, don't think so. Isn't it interesting that progressives are horrified when abortion is thrown back into the states for adjudication. They hate that. But these same people are ecstatic when election nullification is attempted by the states. That pretty much sums up the leftist philosophy. We don't really believe in the Constitution unless it advances our quest to dramatically change America. It is excellent news that the Supreme Court unanimously upheld federal power in national votes. That sends a strong message to the anarchists. Your chaotic vision is illegal. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Okay, let's go to the mail. Elaine Martinkovic, Las Vegas. Joe Biden did not enable Hunter. Joe Biden is the mastermind behind the grift, taking millions from countries and getting his cut. Elaine, if you have proof of that, please send it to me and I'll win a Pulitzer and I will share it with you. I know it's your opinion and you are perfectly within your rights to hold the opinion, but the evidence is not there yet. Esther Haynes, Jacksonville, Florida. O'Reilly, you said many times Joe Biden does not want to give up power. What power does she have? Nobody sees Joe unless she says it's okay. That's a lot of power. And again, read Killing Reagan. Nancy Reagan is the most powerful person in that White House. No doubt about it. Thomas Miller, North Salem, New York. I have a question. I hear you say how Joe Biden can pardon Hunter Biden even if he's not convicted of the crime yet. I understand if he is convicted, but as you say, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. You are saying no matter what Hunter does, Joe can pardon him, even before he goes to court. Correct. Presidential pardon. Look at the pardon that President Ford gave President Nixon. He has the power to do it. Federal charges, by the way. Nick Georgioff, Grand Blanc, Michigan. Hey, Bill, what's your opinion of how this Bragg case will go in Manhattan? You said it yourself that his lawyers should try to get all legal issues moved out of New York. I think it's a guarantee he'll be found guilty, could be sentenced to years in prison. He's not going to prison. All right. All this stuff is going to be appealed in New York into the federal system. Once it gets into the federal system, a good chance a lot of this stuff will be thrown out. The fine that he got on the real estate beef, that's never going to happen. Never. It's excessive, and you can't do that according to the Constitution. So you mark my words. In a moment, something you might not know. Our freedoms should never be taken for granted. They must be cherished, protected, and defended. When corporations pander to the liberal agenda, they must be punished. When corporations stand up for conservative values, they should be supported. This brings me to Freedom 2.0, the bottled water company that proudly represents us. They have hilarious sayings on each bottle like, "This water ain't woke," and "bottled with liberal tears." Use the code BILL for a 15% discount and subscribe to Freedom 2.0. We must never discount freedom, but we can discount water as long as you use the code BILL. Please visit freedom20.com to order now. That's freedom, the number 2, the letter O.com. Freedom20.com, use code BILL for 15% off. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 43 years ago today, the anchorman of CBS News signed off for the last time. Over the span of 2 decades, the journalist had earned his nickname, the most trusted man in America. Here is the story of Walter Cronkite. Born November 1916 in Missouri, the broadcaster began his career reporting from Europe during World War II. He covered the 1952 and 56 presidential elections, then the Olympic Games. Cronkite took over as a CBS anchor in April 1962. For the next 19 years, Cronkite delivered the news during the most significant events in American history, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the assassinations of John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, and Robert Kennedy, the lunar landing, war in Vietnam, Watergate. Uncle Walter relinquished the anchor's chair at the age of 65, only because CBS mandated the retirement for all senior citizen employees. On March 6, 1981, he said goodbye.
This is my last broadcast as the anchorman of the CBS Evening News. For me, it's a moment for which I long have planned, but which nevertheless comes with some sadness. For almost 2 decades, after all, we've been meeting like this in the evenings, and I'll miss that. Old anchormen, you see, don't fade away. They just keep coming back for more. And that's the way it is.
Walter Cronkite did not retire entirely. He wrote a syndicated column and hosted the Kennedy Center Honors. I interviewed him shortly after he left CBS. He regretted he was forced to retire. Walter Cronkite died in 2009 at the age of 92. And here's something else you might not know. Despite his serious reputation, Cronkite also made appearances on entertainment venues. Over the years, the reporter showed up on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Murphy Brown, and The Simpsons. Cronkite also makes a quick cameo in the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies. Back after this. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. For more news and honest analysis, please go to BillO'Reilly.com. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.